This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. And now also available on the AB4WS radio show YouTube channel. Are you interested in getting your technician ham radio license but need a little help in learning the material? Well, May 23rd and 24th is a free weekend ham radio license class covering the material needed to pass the technician exam. This class will be held over Zoom Saturday from noon to 7 p.m. and Sunday noon to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. The class will be taught by ARRL registered instructor Scott Rosenfeld, N7JI. All the materials are free, but you must register for the class by emailing your name, email address, and phone number to ars.n7ji@gmail.com. Matt, KO4TCP, is bringing back the KY4X Fusion Net on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. on the 146.850 repeater wires X node 09953. At one time, they had check-ins on the system from all over Kentucky. Tune in and check it out. The ARRL America 250 Worked All States operating event continues with each state having 2 weeks of using W1AW call in their call sign district. This week from April 29th through May 5th is New Hampshire W1AW/1, South Dakota W1AW/0, and Pennsylvania W1AW/3. From May 6th to May 12th is Maryland W1AW/3, Nevada W1AW/7, and Ohio W1AW/8. For more information on this event, go to ARRL.org/America250-WAF. With the usual spring weather, it is important for all amateurs to be weather aware, and a nice addition to help you keep up with the weather happenings when things get dicey is the Kentucky Severe Storm Weather Net, held on XLX 721 Alpha Multi-Mode Communications Network. The net is now being held every Monday night from 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This gives you a chance to check in and make sure your equipment is working so that when the storm hits, you're ready. There are multiple ways to connect to this multi-mode communications network. If you have one of the M1KE devices, just connect it up to XLX 721 Alpha. For DMR, connect your hotspot or connect the repeater to Brandmeister Talk Group 3121232. For C4FM radios, connect your hotspot to YSF Reflector 51149. There are two ways to connect to the network by D-Star. Either connect up to DCS 721 Alpha or connect to REF 056 Alpha. For Echolink, connect to KY4RW-L. This allows everyone to communicate with each other regardless of the node you're using, and you can hear everyone else regardless of the mode that they are on. It's a really neat system, and it's up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, except for Echolink, which is only active for the net. So check it out anytime. Thanks to Ray, KY4RW, and Larry, NN4H, for this neat communication system. The Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting, in conjunction with the Westchester Amateur Radio Club, has announced expanded museum hours for the Dayton Hamvention 2026. They'll be open Thursday, May 14th, Friday, May 15th, and Saturday, May 16th from noon to 9 p.m., and Sunday, May 17th from noon to 5 p.m. If you're interested in radio, history, or broadcasting, I highly recommend you visiting the museum. It's just a short drive south of the Hamvention, and it's a great piece of radio history and the home of the Westchester Amateur Radio Club station. Check it out. For more information, go to voamuseum.org. The Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club monthly Simplex net on 146.580 is changing the date and time of the net to try to accommodate more amateur radio operators. The net will now be held on the first Monday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The net will be held on Monday, May 4th at 7 p.m. on 146.580. They invite any licensed amateur radio operator to join them by checking in. Perhaps you cannot hear the net control station at your location. Well, no problem. Just listen, and eventually you'll hear a station who will take your check-in and relay it into net control. Net control starts by stations who can hear net control. Then each of those stations put out calls and take check-ins from stations who can hear them. Then the next set of check-ins will be asked to put out calls and take check-ins for stations that can hear their station. After the net, you can post who you were able to hear in your net report on the NKARCgroups.io page. This is an effective way to test your equipment and learn how to use your equipment if something should happen and the repeaters are off the air. It also is is a great training opportunity. A pro tip is to open up your squelch on your radio, and you'll be amazed how many other signals you'll be able to hear in the noise that were squelched out. So the first Monday night of every month at 7 p.m., tune to 146.580 to join the net. The Department of Defense Mars Cross-Band Tests will be held on May 9th, 2026. This exercise is open to all amateur radio operators and is a great opportunity to practice your radio skills. For more information, go to dodmars.org/mars-information-website/armed-forces-day. Because of the Dayton Hamvention weekend, Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold their breakfast get-together on May 9th at 9 a.m. at The Hive, 480 Erlanger Road in Erlanger, Kentucky. Because of limited seating, if you would like to attend, please reach out to Larry, WB2GYS, at WB2GYS@gmail.com to ensure your seat at the table. The Brunch Bunch will be meeting on May 9th at 1 p.m. at the Red Robin, 7250 Houston Road in Florence, Kentucky. Come on out and join them for lunch and ham radio discussion. From May 10th to May 16th, a small group of Southwest Ontario will be putting on a special call sign, Victor Bravo 3, Charlie Oscar Papa Sierra, during Police Services Week to honor and thank all the police personnel for what they do for us daily. And from May 17th to May 23rd, they'll be putting on a special call sign of Victor Bravo 3, Echo Mike Sierra during Emergency Medical Services Week to honor and thank all of our first responders for the job they do daily, for which we seldom get to thank them personally. QSL information will be available at QRZ.com under Victor Bravo 3, Charlie Oscar Papa Sierra, and Victor Bravo 3, Echo Mike Sierra. Get ready for amateur radio's biggest annual gathering. The Dayton Hamvention 2026 is May 15th through the 17th at the Greene County Fair and Expo Center in Xenia, Ohio. Among activities taking place is the ARRL Youth Rally, returning on Saturday, May 16th. The rally is designed for students ages 11 through 21 and offers a great opportunity to connect with other young hams. Youth Rally activities will be led by ARRL Director of Education and Learning, Steve Goodgame, K5ATA, and volunteers from the ARRL Collegiate Amateur Radio Program. Advanced registration is recommended, while Hamvention admission is already free for students, high school and younger. A $20 Youth Rally registration fee includes a t-shirt to be worn on Saturday, a badge and a lanyard, a reusable tote bag, a complimentary 3-day Hamvention admission ticket, and students will enjoy an afternoon of hands-on activities, learning, and fun. Highlights include satellite communication, a short sprint contest, a fox hunt, and a chance to make contact with a parachute mobile station. Attendees are encouraged to bring a 2-meter handheld if you have one. The youth rally will be followed by the ARRL Collegiate Amateur Radio Meetup. For more information about the youth rally and registration, and to find out other ARRL activities and exhibits at the Hamvention, visit www.arrl.org/Dayton-Hamvention-2026. For Hamvention information and general admission tickets, visit hamvention.org. The ARRL Youth Rally registration can be found at ARRL.org. Search Youth Rally registration and click on Advanced Registration. Don't forget about the 2026 Field Day activities on June 27th and 28th. The Okayan Amateur Radio Society, the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club, and the Stubblefield Repeater Club, KF4UTJ in Shelbyville, Kentucky, are all planning Field Day activities for this year. Check it out.
Repeater news.
Are you looking for the most up-to-date list of repeaters in the greater Cincinnati area? Well, I have an Excel spreadsheet where I've listed repeaters that are active in the area, separated by tabs for each band or mode, so you can easily look for just DMR repeaters or 2-meter analog repeaters and so on. The list includes 2 meters, 220, 440, 6 meters, D-Star, DMR, C4FM, P25, and some other classifications. Every time I update the file, I include the date and the file name so that you know you have the latest update. To download the file, go to the AB4WS Radio Show Facebook page and go to the file section and download the file. If you're not on Facebook, email me at ab4ws.radio@gmail.com and I can email you the latest file. If you see any errors, problems, additions, or corrections, email that information to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Hamfest.
May 2nd is the Lucas County Amateur Radio Emergency Service Hamfest from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Merchants Landing Bingo Hall, 6182 Summit Street in Toledo, Ohio. The granddaddy of all Hamfests, the Dayton Hamvention, will be held May 15th, 16th, and 17th at the Greene County Fair and Expo Center, 210 Fairground Road in Xenia, Ohio. For more information, go to hamvention.org. On June 6th is the Fulton County Amateur Radio Club Summerfest at the Delta American Legion Post 373 at 5939 Ohio 109 in Delta, Ohio. For more information, go to k8baq.org/hamfest. August 1st from 8 a.m. to noon is the Letcher County Amateur Radio Club Hamfest at the Mountain Shrine Club, 95 Maryland Drive in Whitesburg, Kentucky. They got lots of door prizes. The 2026 Cincinnati Hamfest and ARRL Great Lakes Division Convention will be held on Saturday, August 15th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Claremont County Fairgrounds, 1000 Locust Street in Owensville, Ohio. Greater Louisville Hamfest will be on September 12th from 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Parquet Springs Conference Center, 395 Parquet Springs Drive in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, just off I-65 at exit 117. A number of interesting forums have already been scheduled and some really neat door prizes. For more information, go to LouisvilleHamfest.com.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On May 9th at 8:30 a.m., the Stark County VE team will host an amateur radio exam session at the St. Paul's Lutheran Church Education Building, 127 Cherry Road, Northeast in Massillon, Ohio. For more information, call 330-832-0609. On May 13th at 6 p.m., the Crooked River Amateur Radio Association is holding amateur radio testing session at the Oak Hill Presbyterian Church, 2406 Ardwell Avenue in Akron, Ohio. You must pre-register. Contact N80QP at 330-786-8086. On May 18th at 5:30 p.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. You must register by going to hamstudy.org/session/NKY-VE. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: KE8BBC, KY4ROD, AC4HI, KD9EYU, WB8VNH, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area, this is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.